Welcome back to Dragon Quest VIII, where we are once again still in pursuit of Dhoulmagus. But this time we've got all 4 party members, so let's have a chat to them all while we're here. We've got Angelo with us. So, we're not sure if he's happy to be with us yet. Yeah, I mean, Jessica's not happy he's here for one. Big town and castle. Okay. So Angelo's joined the ranks of my retainers. Yeah, Angelo's very much... he's independent. Even more uncouth than that Dhoulmagus. Now wait a minute, Grandad. Nice. And Jessica does not want to know a thing about Angelo being here. We've got to stop him. Alright, so with that, it's off we go. And I should say I've made some progress with the defeated monster list as well. I don't think I'm fully up to date yet. I've got most of it. I think there's still probably... I mean, they might be nighttime monsters that I might have missed. But yeah, we're on the right tracks. So we're just going to add more and more as we go. And now we are off to Ascantha, I believe. So, I mean, at this point in the game, I've said it before, but I think a big part of what makes this game for me is that these characters, if the world was not in trouble of any kind, and, you know, what I'm saying is these 4 people would just not ever be anywhere near each other were it not for the events that have transpired so far. Like, you know, if Jessica and Angelo hanging out together, she would be reporting his behaviour to the bartender every single time. Dhoulmagus and Angelo would just... they would never have become 100 miles of each other before the events of this game. I can't remember which monsters I've got and haven't got. But yeah, I think that's what makes the game like even more special to me. Oh well, we're fighting this guy anyway. Because like in all the other Dragon Quest games, I mean I'm thinking of 11 mainly, everyone's a friend and everyone has your back in that game. But in this game it's just like... you know, these people they're together out of necessity because they have to be to take down a common enemy. And it's just, I don't know, it makes it so much more special to me. Right. Let's crash through these guys. This is sort of, it's battles like this where you tend to think, I wish this was like Pokemon, you only have to do one at a time. But battles do tend to drag on in the Dragon Quest games. But at least we got that. We've got the 1 in 16 charm chance with Jessica, which is a very nice passive to have. Especially, I think it does work against bosses, which is just very nice. Right, as for Angelo, we've just got him in the party. Primarily, he is a healer. He's got some offensive spells and he can attack with a sword, but primarily he's there for healing. Pretty sure he's the first party member to learn Zing as well. I think both him and the hero get it. And I think he gets Kazing, but the protagonist doesn't? I can't quite remember. But yeah, he'll learn multi-heal sooner or later and then he becomes just very effective. He's pretty good from the off, just with his basic healing. But he'll get better and better as time goes on. And these things have so much health. Yeah, Dhoulmagus to finish the job. It's weird that Dragon Quest IX was the only game to implement the kind of multiplier mechanic. So if you land 4 attacks in a row in that game, it will do double damage by the 4th hit, but never used again in... oh god. I don't think I've ever seen this guy turn red before. Not something I remember anyway. There we go, Dhoulmagus is up. I think he's reached the cap already on axes. Yeah, we can't get him. Alright, we'll get axes of evil. Yeah, again, there's not much that's really worth seeking after in Dhoulmagus' skill trees. It's pretty much just axes. And oh, he's got a heal now. Do a quick multi-heal on everyone. I've gone back and got the... I've become completely disorientated now. Oh, that's consult. We get the buttons in every game because I just map them differently. Forget how I've done it in the previous one. No, we're off. And this to me is really where the beauty of the game sets in. In a similar way to Skyrim, what makes that game is the exploration more than the story. Because the story of Skyrim is just kind of... there's a few different sort of sub-stories, but the main story is still just kind of... it's good, but what makes it is the exploration. Just being out in nature and the music and just like seeing what there is just a fantastic part of it. And it's similar to this game. I mean, the story of this game is incredible, much more so than Skyrim. But yeah, just sort of wandering about it's just the most relaxing thing going. There will be plenty of personal stories in this episode, by the way. I wanted to save them after we got through this little church bit. We'll see. Yeah, nearly there. Yeah, this part... I can't remember if this was one of the scenes that was added in the 3DS version or if it's always been there. And I think I have missed it in a number of playthroughs, but it's particularly potent, I think. It's given us a lot of backstory and... Well, I won't give any spoilers, let's just get in and start playing it. Yeah, that was what I loved with the 3DS version. They added so many just like little... There's a couple of scenes later on that are just such brilliant things to add on. That's the church, don't want that. I really want to put the game down because it crashed about 5 times before I loaded it in today. But right, here we go. Crow's not able to sleep. So the church has let him in for once. He's not stayed outside in the carriage. Which is interesting. Particularly nice church. It's Angelo, not sleeping.
Ah, Angelo. You look like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders. Maybe it would help to get it off your chest, Not that I want to force you, mind.
Road inquiring.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe things will never be right between us. Marcello, will never forgive me.
See, this is where I think Angelo is quite likeable, when he's being real. When he's being his creepy self around Jessica, nah, but now he's good.
If only we didn't share common blood, I'm sure we'd get along fine.
Here we go. So we know they were maybe brothers at this point, but now we're going to get some proper backstory. We get the nice theme. Yeah, beautiful. This is Maella Abbey. And it's baby Angelo.
Abbot Francisco was always well known around these parts for his benevolence. He'd often take in children who had nowhere else to go.
I reckon he's about 5 here.
And I was one of them. My parents were well off, part of the aristocracy. But then they both died. All of a sudden, I was left with no family and no money. The Abbey was the only place I could go.
So sad. So this must have been just after his parents died. I presume just after his father died. I think. Could get some backstory as to why he loved Abbot Francisco so much as well. The Abbey, when we came there in present times, was just very cold. It seemed like they only wanted money out of like tourists. It seemed like a front, if anything. And it's not particularly welcoming back in the day either. So it's not like it's gone downhill, it's always been pretty bad. There's a priest. Is he going to help out baby Angelo? No, he's not. Straight past him. And another. And that looks to me like a younger Marcello.
You're new here, aren't you? Are you here to join the brothers? Have you come all on your own?
It's being nice.
Oh, you must be exhausted. Where are your things? Is that all you've got?
My mummy and daddy died, so I don't have many things, and I don't have anywhere else to go.
You sound a lot like me. But there's no need to worry. Abbot Francisco and all of us will be your family from now on.
So welcoming, so warm.
But...
Let's go and find the abbot. Come on now, don't cry. Why don't you tell me your name?
First little smile.
Angelo.
You! So you're Angelo. Leave. I want you to leave. Leave and never come back. I don't ever want to see you again. So you're intent on ruining this life for me as well, are you?
So cold. The second he learnt his name, he just completely turned.
Marcello was the golden boy of the Abbey. He studied hard and had a bright future ahead of him. But when it came to me, his attitude wasn't so positive.
I'm so sorry, child. I'm sad to say I heard that little exchange. It's so unlike Marcello to act like that. I just don't understand. Ah, I see. I always knew he had a half-brother. That's you, isn't it? You're Angelo.
So there we go. Not full brothers, but half brothers. And why he hates him, I'm not sure.
Well, they say time heals all wounds. Let's hope your living here will make everything all right. Now, come along with me.
By the looks of what we know that happened in the present, I don't think time did heal that wound. They still hate each other.
From today onwards, this will be your home. Why don't I introduce you to everyone?
I think
Not long
that's
after
it.
that, I heard the full story for the first time. About how I had a half-brother, the product of a fling my father had with a peasant girl before he married. He disowned the woman and her child, presumably because of his engagement to my mother. The poor girl was heartbroken, of course. So heartbroken that she couldn't go on living, they say. And so the child was left alone in the world. That's Marcello's story, you see.
Sounds like Padme in Star Wars died of broken heart. It does happen, I think, but there we go.
As my mother had been told she couldn't have children, my parents discussed adopting him. But the physician must have been wrong, because my mother fell pregnant with me shortly after. That put paid to the adoption idea, and Marcello was unceremoniously dispatched to the Abbey.
There we go, so the parents just got rid of Marcello, sent him to the Abbey. And you can see why Marcello hates his parents, but...
Twice cast aside by his own father, Marcello ended up hating him, and hating me, naturally, as he grew up among the Templars.
There we go, so it wasn't even anything Angelo did. He just hates him because of his father and being disowned, which... I mean, you can kind of see it, but it's just so harsh towards Angelo. And that's it. That's the tragic backstory of Angelo and Marcello, and kind of why they hate each other.
Quite a bombshell, don't you think? I was so young and innocent then, too. The whole thing hurt more than you can imagine. Still, c'est la vie. My father got off lightly. He did just what he wanted and then died, and left me to take the consequences.
So I did do a bit of digging. I went around chatting to the people of Simpleton in off camera, and they all had a very negative view of Angelo's father before he died. Like, in a sort of, he was lazy, he didn't really do much, he was just a bit of a bum. And then, yeah.
I'm the only one left for Marcello to hate now. In a way, I can't say I blame him, and it was probably good that we lived together. At least it gave him someone to take it all out on. Certainly added a bit of spice to the humdrum life at Maella Abbey, anyway.
Angelo, I'm so...
This story's gone on long enough. Look, it's nearly daybreak.
Wait!
It's a beautiful little environment. But there we go, the tragic backstory of Angelo. And it just adds more to the whole idea of just this party is just a bunch of misfits. Like, they don't belong together at all, but they've been thrust here by the events of the world and sort of fate. It's just such a beautiful thing, to be honest. But yeah, it's sort of, you feel for Angelo, because he sort of hated his whole life by Marcello, when he didn't even really do anything wrong. It was his dad that was the problem. I can chat to him now. Why are you looking at me like that? Is my hair out of place? Well, yeah, the protagonist didn't see any of that. Us, the player, saw it all, but not the protagonist. Parents or siblings? Interesting. Playing happily families when they've been transfigured into a toad and a horse. Interesting, but yeah. So, now we can move on to personal stories. So this part of the game for me is just sort of, it is the epitome of relaxation and carefreeness. Because I think the time I was playing this exact, attention boost. I was playing this exact part of the game. It was a very specific time in my life. It would have been the summer holiday between year 10 and 11. So for those outside the UK, that's year 10 is when you're 14, 15 years old. And I was the most carefree a human could possibly be. I think I must have rolled out of bed at sort of 10 in the morning, summer holiday month, so it was lovely and warm, and just started playing this game. And I remember specifically just wondering about Ascantha. At that time in my life, I didn't care about diet either, so I was eating so much rubbish and I just didn't care. I didn't care about anything at that point. I wasn't getting myself in detentions anymore, which was nice, so it wasn't dramatic at all. It's just so easy life back then as a 14, 15 year old. I would have been 15 at the exact time, but yeah, I've since looked at stuff like, you know, all this personality test stuff. Oh dear, 100 tension, that is not good, but yeah, there's a thing called the Myers-Briggs personality test, and they test you on conscientiousness, which is hardworking basically, openness, willingness to try new things, whether you're introverted or extroverted, neuroticism, which is how kind of negatively you think. There's a fifth one, I can't remember what it is, but long story short, when I did this, I scored mid-range on pretty much all of them. We do actually have to start, oh dear. Even 100 tension, they don't do much. But I scored pretty much mid-range on all of them, sort of 40 to 60%, except conscientiousness, which when I did this test about a year ago, that came out as 96%. And it was just, that's like, I'm completely unable to relax most of the time. Like, gaming's fine because there's an input. But yeah, if I had done this test during the time of my life I'm talking about when I was playing this game, I probably would have scored about 20 or 30. Because I just didn't care about anything. Playing Dragon Quest VIII was just the most relaxing, carefree thing, and I had all the time in the world at that particular time in my life. And it was just so easy. Whereas now it's just, yeah, very different. But, we're getting into life lessons now, we're getting deep, I think. Does Angelo have mid-hill? No, not yet. But I've fallen into the trap a lot of trying to replicate either successful or happy times in my life, and it never ends up as good. Because in summer holiday between 10 and 11, I was probably the happiest I've ever been, just completely relaxed. I tried to emulate that happiness by playing Dragon Quest VIII in the summer holiday between year 11 and 12, when I was not happy, because I just had my GCSE results, which were not as good as I was thinking. And that was what made my conscientiousness like triple, probably. Double or triple. And I just had my first breakup as well, so I was trying to be as relaxed as I was the year previous playing the game, and it was just impossible. But the life lesson there, the moral of the story, is just kind of embrace the new. It doesn't have to be, like, you shouldn't try and copy old parts of your life, is what I'm saying. Just because, like, new is not necessarily worse, and just because you've had a good time doing something doesn't mean it's not good if you do it again and try and replicate those same conditions, because it just won't work. You should embrace the new. Yeah, I had that exact same problem when I had a very hard work in year 12 and 13, and I was trying to replicate that same kind of hard work success in my time at uni, and I just couldn't quite emulate it. But that's life. It moves forwards rather than backwards. Have I got this guy on the best story yet? I can't remember. But yeah, I was hoping I'd have more personal stories than that, but I think I've run out already. The paths are so long between places, but I think that's what makes part of the game, just that kind of exploration and long treks, again like Skyrim. Unfortunately, my rambling can't quite make it to the end of each of these paths. But yeah, different times of the life. Like, so many times I've tried to replicate that same level of relaxation just by eating the same food, playing the same game, listening to the same music. It's not the same, but it moves on. But here we are at last. We've arrived at Ascantha Castle, and it looks very black. Strange already, but it's a beautiful little place surrounded by a moat. You've got the sea to one side. It looks lovely, but they've rolled down the black colours on the top of the little castle bit there. Don't know what you call that bit there. The steeple? I don't know. Well, let's head in and investigate, see what we find. And we've got the sad theme. And this guy looks... Look how unhappy this man looks. What's wrong? Have I heard of a jester? No. He's dressed in black. So they've not seen Dhoulmagus, which isn't a good sign. These guys are... This guy's sad as well. It looks like us being a customer was quite unexpected to him. Right, we're definitely getting a steel broadsword. 100%. And that's for me. No, he's put all the... oh dear. Buttons beyond my comprehension at the age of 25. Still can't handle them. Let's equip that. Probably run out of money for new armour as well, but she's wearing black as well, and not happy at all. It looks like these people aren't really much for conversation either. No, we will get a leather dress because that's cheap. Give that to Jessica. Such a beautiful theme. As sad as it is absolutely beautiful. That's barely anything. No, I think that'll do for now. All we need for now, and... Alright, let's try and investigate why everyone's so sad. And why the sad theme is playing. Ask the castle guards. Been 2 long years since the Queen passed away. Period of official mourning for our late Queen, even though she passed away 2 years ago. Go making any unnecessary noise. Something strange is afoot here. What about you? You look really sad as well. But whatever brings you here to our kingdom? So they're not expecting visitors. This place isn't exactly a bustling tourist town. What about you? The audience chamber is just upstairs. Would you be disappointed? So where's the king? And can we receive any information about Dhoulmagus? King's chamber is just upstairs, so... The minister looks so unhappy. It's most unusual to have visitors. Afraid I must request that you leave. Oh dear. Let's chat to the party. What does everyone else make of this? Do they look sad? No, they look happy. Reminds me of when Alistair died. So I ain't no good with women. Yes. There's someone else. Whoever it is will be very happy in, I suppose new place, nesting place. Oh, Yangus. So I've seen the last of Black Cloaks. Oh dear, Angelo being a pervert again. He sort of yo-yos between likeable when he's being deep and then very unlikable when he's being creepy, which... Yes, here we are. This maid looks very unhappy.
Are you feeling all right, Your Majesty? It's me, Emma, the maid. I see you haven't eaten any of the lunch I brought you, Your Majesty. I'll be sure to bring you your favourite for supper. Please, Your Majesty, please answer me. I just want to make sure you're all right. Very well. We'll leave you in peace. Excuse me.
Quite bad. She's walked straight past us without saying anything. See Munchie in the pocket. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty good going for her, because as we heard from the guard, the Queen has been dead for 2 years. And this maid is still trying to do everything she can to cheer up the king, who presumably has just locked himself away, doesn't want to come out at this stage. Right, I'm pretty sure she is the subject of the photo as well, so I'm going to try and snap a photo. Is it going to work? I think that was her. Okay. Try and snap a photo, but I'm pretty sure she just goes missing at some point and I can never find her. Right, let's chat to him.
He's hardly eating a thing either. And I could hear him weeping all through the night yesterday. He was such a benevolent and wise king when the Queen was still alive. I'm terribly sorry I'm of so little use to him.
I see. So it continues. It must be difficult for you, Emma. But I need you to keep trying. If the king cannot recover from this, the country will fall apart. I just
don't know what to suggest.
Ah, hello there. Do you seek an audience with the King of Ascantha?
We was hoping he'd had information on a jester called Dhoulmagus, but doesn't look like it.
I'm afraid that His Majesty has been unavailable to visitors since the period of mourning for the late Queen began 2 years ago.
2 whole years.
He comes down to the royal suite every night, but I doubt that he'll grant you an audience. I realise that that must seem strange to you, but if you return after dark, you'll see for yourselves.
Right. Well, it looks like that's our plan, so in mourning for 2 whole years. I mean, I can't really say much really. I've never had a loss like... I mean, the loss of a spouse must be like just the worst thing in the world. And I've never really had a comparable loss personally. But yeah, 2 years is a long time to be... The thing is that your loved one wouldn't want you to go on that long, obviously. But it must be like the hardest thing. And obviously the king in this game, the fictional king, is not handling it very well at all. I mean, we don't know relative ages yet, but I'm going to find out soon enough. The owner of the inn looks so sad as well. Right, we want to rest until evening, then come back at night. See if we can get an audience with the king. I'll try and get some information. And another sad person to replace him. Is the golden slime in here somewhere? See what he says. Beautiful and intelligent woman. It's not just because of the king's orders. So she was well liked and respected. God. This is so dark. I'm so sorry. This is so dark. It is a beautiful part of the game. It really is. But it is dark. Alright. Let's go up again. Have another go and try and see the king. And take a photo while we're there. 'Cause I'm going to forget otherwise. See what he has to say. I mean, it's pretty clear at this stage they're not going to know anything about Dhoulmagus. I mean, they said if a jester did come around here, he'd stand out like a sore thumb. Obviously, that hasn't happened, but this is Dragon Quest. You must complete the individual story of every single place before moving on and doing the story as a whole. Queen Sasha, we've got a name. And there he is, and he's slumped over his chair. We'll get the photo now. Sorry, King, it just had to be done. Let's chat to him. Find out what's wrong. 2 long years. If I could just see you one more time. And it doesn't look like we're going to get anything out of him. He won't even turn around for visitors. Well, I think that's that. We're going to have to continue on. Ooh. And there's Emma. Once again.
Oh. Did you meet with His Majesty in the royal suite?
I tried. He wasn't having it.
I must explain. The king is refusing to speak with anyone at present. Please forgive him if he caused offence. You see, he's never been quite the same since Queen Sasha died 2 years ago. If only it were possible to meet with those who've passed away. Oh, it would mean the world to the king if he could see his queen once more.
Oh.
You know, my grandmother used to tell me lots of stories when I was small. Lots of very strange stories. I'm sure there was one about a way to make any wish come true. No, it's no good though. I just can't remember it. I'm sure she'd be happy to tell me if I went to see her, but I'm so busy with work here at the castle. I'm afraid I must ask you a favor.
Go on.
I'd like you to go and see my grandmother. She lives in a house west of here, next to a bridge. Could you ask her to tell you the old story about how to make wishes come true? Maybe it's just a fairy tale, but if there's any chance it might be true, then I have to try and help the king. I wish I could go and ask her myself, but there's so much to do here at the castle, and I can't leave him on his own. I'm really counting on your help. My grandmother lives west of Ascantha, in a house next to a bridge.
Got it.
I pray at church every day that the king will be happy again. Please, help me to help him.
I'd be delighted to. So, in the Dragon Quest VIII as a whole, Well, I was very good at pointing out the references to real-world places in Dragon Quest XI when we did that playthrough, and there's a few in Dragon Quest IX. There's very few in Dragon Quest VIII that I can actually correctly pinpoint, because Emma has a West Country accent, which leads you to believe this is meant to resemble someplace in Britain, but I have no idea. No idea what Ascantha is meant to be. I can't work out a pun or can't see an obvious anagram. But well, there's a few places in here I know. Alexandria is like meant to be Greece, I think. Greece-ish. And the others, I don't know. Riverside Chapel is the place you want to go. Okay, we need to head out first. It's going to be a cutscene with King Troad, that's why. And I imagine he'll be... if our interaction with Valentina in February was anything to go by, I imagine he'll be delighted with Emma's dedication to her king. That's my guess. And...
I see.
Yep.
Magnificent! What a dutiful maid! Worrying about her master so. I am impressed. A faithful retainer like her is a most precious treasure to a king. And you say she's about the same age as my dear Medea?
Go, another clue.
Very well. Now this is an order. I want you to help this maid with her request. I beg your pardon? A detour?
Detour?
Well, if you get onto it quickly, it won't be a problem, will it? Off we go. We must lend a hand to this delightful maid of yours.
Let's do it. And I have no detours in mind, because we'll do that off camera. Better forethought a little bit, but yeah. Right. Now I have a personal story of annoyance, because I tried to, for a very long time, get my best mate to play this game. Callum, if you're watching, you're a knob, but basically he got up to this point in the game, and I think he just could not find Emma's grandmother's house, and he just gave up and put it down. But I think personally this game is a slow burner. It doesn't really kick off until quite a decent way in, I think. For me it's around, I'll be honest, it's around Orchestral, around that point in the game where I think it really takes off and you really start to, or me personally anyway, I really start to feel an emotional connection with the characters in the game, and I really want them to succeed. Okay, if you go there on the night of a full moon and wait quietly. Okay. So cold and spooky up there. Never known anyone willing to stay the whole night to find out. Well, that looks like our goal. Got a mini medal. There was something here of interest when I last looked around. I can't remember. Or was it... I think I'm just making stuff up now. Got any chance? Yes, the legendary peak. That's what we want. Strange old ruin. Just a crumbling old wall. Waste of time. Well, I think that's our task. Got to try and go up, but I should say as well, when my best mate played this game, he went past Maella Abbey and just completely ignored that part of the story, so he missed Angelo completely. I think he went to Maella Abbey, and then you get that cutscene where they say you're not welcome here or whatever, and then I think he missed Simpleton, so never had that interaction with Angelo. Ooh, metal slime. Yes, we'll see what we can do with this one. I'm not going to hunt them specifically. Oh, we got two. Do I have metal slash yet? No. Right, it's everyone on a normal attack except Yangus in that case. But yeah. As for the game not... What's the word? Oh well. As for the game not kicking off till later on, I think it is very good in the early game, but it gets superb in the late game. I think it's after the sort of midway point. Obviously no spoilers, but I feel like the connections with the characters, both characters between characters and my emotions towards the characters, all just get very strong at that particular point in the game, I think. It's a point in the game where people could go their own way if they wanted to, but they don't. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Getting ahead of myself now. Yeah, I mean, this part of the game is just very kind of... It's very relaxed, very beautiful. Because as is tradition with a lot of Dragon Quest, or parts of Dragon Quest, there are parts of it where you kind of forget the main story, and you're just kind of focused on the little sub-story, and this is one of them. Can't remember if we've got that guy already. Got the kelp. I don't know if we've got the squiggly thing yet. I've definitely taken a picture of one. We might not have this variation of lips either, so we'll kill this guy. 3 metal slimes? We are spoiled. See if we can kill any of them, or if they all run away. Put Jess... it seems like a bad tactic now, but oh well. I mean, half of them will run anyway. Got 2. Got 3. I can only imagine we'll go up to level 99 in this fight. We've got one each on both of them as well. Oh dear. Alright, we lost Jess. Not good. Nothing. Nothing. Right, right, these are 2 HP down then, so we'll put Yangus on A and Angelo on B as well. Still got B. That's 2. I think they have 3 health rather than 4. No, I lost Yangus as well. You really should kill the lips. You lost A. I was hoping it'd do 1 and wake him up. No. We got B, beautiful. We got 1. Right. I'm just going to go normal attacks. Yeah, that's all we can do anyway. Right, beautiful. Yangus back up. Oh dear. Oh dear, he's gone again. Fucking lips. Really should have just killed him first time. I think that's 2 out of 3. Go on, get him quick. Ah! Oh, we got 1. Better than nothing. Now we can finish off with a kiss on my lips. Now we can take out this bastard monster. There we go. 1403. It's a cheeky level for me. Have we got defending champion now? We do. Beautiful. And looks like I've decided to go for spears, so we'll get thunder thrust, and then there's a lightning thrust all the way down as well. Pretty sure lightning thrust is just a higher critical hit chance. Jessica's got bang. Excellent spell. And yeah, we're going towards Kazing, I think. I suspect, much like Yanga, she's going to reach a cap at some point that will stop her from getting Kazing before a decent level. But we'll find out later on. I'm not sure we've got this guy yet, but please don't spawn with too many things. Oh dear. Right, in that case, we'll just... Oh, in groups of 3 and 2. I can't even be bothered to kill the metal slime anymore. Let's have many spells used. Actually, Jessica's got bang now. We use that. Bang and rush. That's gone straight away anyway. I love these guys. I love that in particular. They're just too busy doodling. It's just arbitrary. Just a bit of fun. But he's just wandered off here. Those guys are so ridiculous. There's just so many like ridiculous things in Dragon Quest that it has blankly into space. Just so many ridiculous things that someone in the office has clearly thought, that'd be funny. Just put it in. Quite like that ability. It's quite cool. Last little bit. And he's gone. He's just wandered off. There we go. Some of the enemies are defeated, some have just, got bored. Left. Right, squeeze past him. To be fair, I do resonate with my best mate in the sense of not knowing where to go at certain parts of the game, because I think I struggled to find this place in my first playthrough. And quite possibly my second as well. There are some places where it's not perfectly explained. This being one of them, but... Yes. Reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl. Ile de Murta can only be found by people that already know where it is, but... How did the first person find it? Doesn't make any sense. Right, I like this little cave. It's kind of, sort of, watery in a way. Quite pretty. We don't get the cave theme for once as well, we just get the normal overworld theme. Right, we'll have this guy, we definitely need him. I'm sure I remember in a number of playthroughs this, like, I genuinely struggled with quite a few of the monsters up here. They are a bit of a step up. Right, we want to whoosh. Hopefully we get all of these guys out. I think in pretty much every game, I rarely use magic. And that's a very general statement. I'll never use magic in Kingdom Hearts, barely use it in this game, but... Oh dear. I think I never use it in Skyrim either. There's so many games references now. But I always prefer a sort of sword and shield approach. I always prefer a melee rather than mage. Actually, to be fair, that's... In RuneScape, I only ever use mage. I'm rambling at this stage. We need more story and to fill the gaps. personal stories do I have at this point in the game? Just gonna have to make shit up now. I was once playing this game and I got attacked. The guy literally smashed in through the window and pulled me out my chair. I was so relaxed as well. It was a real shame. 100% true. Oh, and he was an alien. I like this little bit of the cave. It's sort of, from a gameplay perspective, can I get around him? I can. From a gameplay perspective, it's like little details like that, which places that just don't need to be there and don't serve any purpose, but... Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Not that island is in the middle. Yeah, it's just little places that are added just to kind of embellish the world and make it kind of more immersive. I really love that, like little attention to detail. Because you could just, make a level that's from A to B. And that's the only purpose. Right, this is definitely going to be a way of treasure, but we're doing it. Oh dear, many enemies. Right. I think the protagonist does get bang eventually. Let's go for the boys. Go with bang. Yeah, bang's just a very nice spell that just hits everything. So I was looking through the protagonist's skill points. And for both swords and these... Oh dear. Oof, that was heavy. And he's got multi-shot. For both swords and the protagonist skill tree, whatever that's called, can't remember. I think it's Giga Slash at the bottom of both of them. So I don't think I've ever done it, but I'm presuming if you get Giga Slash on both of them, it will turn into Giga Gash, which is one that hits all enemies rather than just groups. So it's hard because I always want to get Thunder Thrust as well. And I'm pretty sure the cap skill path is 250 skill points. That's what you get level 99. You can also obviously farm Seeds of Skill to get yourself some more. But I don't know, we'll see how we go. If we get to level 99 and I want to unlock it to see what it is, I might go for it. Because yeah, you need 100 in both swords and whatever the protagonist skill tree is, and you ideally want Lightning Thrust and Spears as well from Metal Slimes. We shall see when we get there. We're a long way off that yet. I've no idea how to farm Seeds of Skill in this game. Or indeed in any other Dragon Quest game. It's not like Dragon Quest 9 where you can just continuously revocate and just get a few levels and get loads of skill points. Was there nothing there? Oh, the shit this game puts me through. That being said, I am happy to play it literally all day long. Are we getting through here? We are. Patience is a virtue. We do need the tree. I'm bothered to get this one though. Didn't wear me camera. Yeah, but we'll do this one. Had to be done eventually. Oh, we've got 4. Yeah, it would be nice if you only got one enemy at a time, so it doesn't just get too crowded and overcomplicated. It's nice when they're all in one group. It's very annoying when they're not. It seems to be generally fairly arbitrary, because they can come in, if there's a group of 5, it'll genuinely split into 3 and 2, which is just annoying and completely just arbitrary and weird dance. That's the MP stealer. I love the fact that they couldn't be bothered to think of a better word than just weird. The MP stealing dance? No, we'll go with weird dance. I like that, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's one that hits descendingly down the list. It hits the most on the first one and then least on the last one. Nearly there. Another weird dance. Yeah, Yangus's MP is generally his weakness. He gets away with using Helm Splitter because that's 0 MP, but Parallax tends to run out eventually. It's getting annoying. Right. I think that's why I struggled with this place before. The monsters, again, much like corridors in grottos in Dragon Quest 9, the monsters get bigger than the paths and you just can't get past them anymore. Right or left? I can't remember. I'm going to try left. I want to go the wrong way deliberately to get all the treasure. But, let's go into treasure! 500 gold. I'm pretty sure in the PS2 version of the game, in a lot of the treasure chests were maps of the places. But you get those for free in the 3DS version. So I'm pretty sure again in PS2, I think Marcello gives you a world map, and that's the first time you get that, but you've got it from the start in 3DS, which Again, just nice little quality of life changes, not making anything too arbitrarily difficult. We have actually gone the right way here. Are we making it past it? Just about. This looks like the wrong way, judging by the map, which hopefully there's treasure around here. There is. Please, £1 million. Templar Shield. Ooh, that looks quite cool as well. See what that looks like in HD. Have a look. I never remember which thing it is. It's cool. I do quite like the red on that. That's very nice. Yeah. Do need some... Just I do need some money from these chests. I need some real life money. I've made a terrible blunder recently in that... I mean, I mentioned that my conscientiousness from the personality test was like 96. I have, unfortunately, this morning, I'm in a bit of a bad mood. I failed my very first exam. Pass mark was 50 and I got 45. And unfortunately, in the way the world works, I have to pay personally for the resit because I failed. My company pays for the normal exams, but resits they don't. Which is, I just should have passed the first time. Right, we have arrived at the top. And this is one of my favourite bits of the game because it's so beautifully done and it's so sort of just magical. But we can slowly watch this gateway, the shadow of this gateway, get longer and longer. And I'm pretty sure, I think a lot of people have probably done the same thing and then come up here and thought, the NPCs were telling the truth and that there is just nothing here, but one makes poets out of people. Okay, Angelo being somewhat decent, since magic, powerful magic, coming from the full moon. Something's going to happen there, I can feel it. I'm sure the PS2 version of this was different. I'm sure you couldn't actually see it extend. They just didn't bother to do the graphics for that bit, but yeah. This is absolutely magical, and there's going to be another bit that's similar later on in the game that's just really beautifully done, but now we can just watch it happen. Guys, there's the shadow forming a shape on the wall now that the sun started to set, and it's shining. There's some sort of magic going on there. Let's investigate. Beautiful little chime noises. There's the thumbnail. And it's a doorway. It's so brilliantly done. I love that. Just that little bit of magic, you know? A little bit of trickery. It's so good. Another reason why I love this game. Here's a soundtrack I completely forgot about. I don't think it's in the little album I put together. But it's such a laid-back little soundtrack. See the pictures on the floor of these platforms, little moons. Some moons. And it's a very interesting place indeed. That effect is rising up, whatever it is. Sort of looks like it's flying through space. Let's chat to the party, see what they think. Jess, is this real or is it a dream? You can see it. It's like when you're caught on a job, deny everything. Oh, for God's sake, Angelo. Creepy bastard. Yeah, no, I said it in the previous episode. He's not always likeable, but we know he is a good person.
I am Ishmari, keeper of the Moon Shadowland.
Hello.
Welcome to my realm.
He an elf? There's a trumpets playing around the edge. It looks like we're underwater actually, even though we weren't underwater outside. And it does look, it looks fully underwater, doesn't it? This place looks like it's disconnected from the place we just came in from. Interesting.
Many moons have waxed and waned since human foot last trod this earth. Weary travelers, I welcome you now to the land of the moon shadow. Enlighten me. What desire opened the moon shadow window on this night?
That's this king
No
and
words. Your shoes can tell the tale.
shoes.
So, Pavan longs to be reunited with his dearly beloved Sasha.
How'd you know that?
You stand amazed, mouths agape in wonderment. Ah, forgive me. I have yet to uncloud your eyes. Children of the light of day, do you believe that memories are yours alone?
Human brains in that.
Your clothes, houses, tables and chairs, the sky, the land. They too remember each passing day.
Impossible, not having it.
Silently,
Bit
they
of magic.
sleep in a dream world of memories. The moon's light may give shape to these dreams, these memories. I cannot stir this daughter of the sun from her eternal sleep, but perhaps I can end your friend's waking nightmare.
Go on.
Lead me to the castle. Lead me to the scene of Pavan's misery.
And now we've got Ishmari joins the party. I remember a comment somewhere, can't remember if it was another video or a Reddit post or something. They described Ishmari as the stoned elf, and yeah, pretty accurate to be fair. I forgot this little feature as well in the 3DS version. Just about use me cursor. You can talk to the people in your party by... There we go. How to soothe the broken heart. Well, let's go. So I do quite like the little detail they added of I cannot stir this person from eternal sleep, because that's something in common with a lot of like fantasy stories, that you can never resurrect people. Like, it's the same with Harry Potter. They said like no spell can reawaken the dead. Oh, that's convenient. We're in the castle already, and is he dead? No, he's just asleep because he's so bored. Nothing's happening in this country. But here we go. What Ishmari is going to do? Go this way? No, he's asleep as well. It's a very uneventful castle, it would seem. It's King Pavan. Playing his harp. See him for the first time. He's a young man.
O grieving soul, may the moon's rays trace the scenes enacted here long ago.
This little tune as well. Looks like that is Queen Sasha. Or a ghost, anyway. So she was young. Even more heartbreaking. He's a young man himself.
What is this? A dream? An illusion? No. I remember this. You.
Is wrong? What is wrong?
Sasha, I've missed you so. These 2 years I've thought of nothing but you. Ever since you passed away.
You're not still fretting about this morning's missive, are you? You mustn't. You made the right decision. You're always so lenient with people. But sometimes you need to be firm too. That's a king's duty. Everybody believes in you. You must stand tall and proud. Ascantha is your country. Oh yes, I have news. The innkeeper's dog has had a puppy. He wants us to think of a name.
It's the memory, rather than a ghost thing.
Is that me? Yes. I remember this. It was the spring before last. So, this is a memory from the past?
So I think we could infer from that the Queen died quite suddenly. She wasn't like ill for a long period of time.
A puppy, you say? What do you think? No doubt you've already thought of a good name for it.
It's happy and cheerful in this memory.
It's a secret.
Why? If you've thought of a name, then I'm sure it's splendid. Tell me.
Surely you have a suggestion too? A name for this puppy?
But I'm sure yours is...
Shush now, Pavan. I think any name you came up with would be simply perfect. My dear king, you're a wise and kind man. You should follow your own instincts. I was planning to use the name you thought of. That's all I'd decided.
Sweet. Very beautiful.
Yes. She was always like that. Always giving me so much encouragement. Sasha, why?
Is this going to help him or is this just going to make him worse?
Sasha, why are you always so strong?
Because my mother gives me strength.
Your mother? But she passed away years ago.
I never told you, but I was very timid as a child, so weak and afraid. And every day, my mother would try hard to encourage me.
I think at this point it's quite clear that the king in this memory, like, hasn't really experienced much yet. The way I'm seeing it, it's just kind of like he's a sort of blank canvas, and he sort of looks like he's surprised by other people's like sort of emotions and experiences.
When she died, I was so sad and lonely. But then I realized if I went back to my old weak self, I would have nothing left of my mother at all.
There we go, that's the lesson.
It would be just as if she had never existed. I realized I had to be strong, that I must remember her words of encouragement and everything she taught me. That way, she'll live on inside me for always, forever.
Sasha, you're right. I should be more like you.
God, he's getting it. Ishmari has played the exact correct scene.
Shall we go out onto the terrace? The weather's so nice today. It would be lovely to enjoy the breeze together.
He's reenacting his steps. It's so beautiful, man. Ascantha in all its beauty.
Your country stretches before us as far as the eye can see. Oh, Ascantha is so beautiful.
Yes. Beautiful, Sasha. So beautiful.
My darling king, for people to live their lives happily, you must be strong.
Biden. That's it. I mean, Ishmari played exactly the scene he needed to. Dear.
I remember. Everything you ever told me lives on inside my heart. Forgive me, Sasha. I finally opened my eyes. I'm sorry for being so sad and lonely.
He's got it. He's got it.
At last, I've finally awoken from my long and terrible nightmare.
Black flags are being rolled up. Are we going to get a colourful kingdom once again? Ooh. Yeah, there we go. We get the beautiful Dragon Quest VIII Kingdom theme. Kingdom and Castle. Can't remember what it's called actually. There we go, and no one's wearing black anymore. The official period of mourning for the late Queen is over. That might be the innkeeper's dog just there. The one they didn't think of a name for. everyone's happy and cheerful once again. It's all because of us. It's just a classic Dragon Quest for you to just fix every problem for every person. I mean, that's gaming in general, isn't it?
Again, will I forget the things Sasha told me? It felt like a dream, but I believe in what I saw. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries, man.
Thanks to you and Emma, I've finally woken up from an unbearable nightmare. Now, I can be a proper king to my people again.
Yeah, because she's going mental in the background.
I cannot thank you enough. If there is ever anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask.
Now that you say it, have you seen a jester called Dhoulmagus?
I will do anything in my power to repay you. Anything at all I can do to help. Farewell, my friends. May fortune ride with you on your continuing journey. I hope we will meet again soon.
I hope so too, man. But, yeah, have you seen a jester called Dhoulmagus? He's not. What an entire waste of an episode. Jess, what do you think? As he lives on too in my heart. Abbot Francisco for you, Angelo? Oh, that's not very nice. Bit too much of the old moonshine. Oh dear. This does look nice, I must say. Where's the lobster though? I presume this is a pork joint of some sort? Or was that a big fish? That itchy Marie bloke disappeared. Yeah, Angus, remembering what it was like back in Pickham and being on a bit of the spice. But... Right, I think we are done here. Unfortunately, we didn't learn a thing. We've fixed the Ascantha, but... Attention. Right. Guard's back to himself. Quite interesting, to be honest. I won't say why just yet. Him saluting to us. Anyway, I think with that, we're going to have to press on. We didn't find what we were looking for, but we did sort out Ascantha. Pretty sure. I want to go and see the innkeeper's dog as well. I'm pretty sure one of the photo challenges. I've not bothered to look at them, but it's one of the. It's the innkeeper's dog. Is one of the pictures. There he is. I think that's him. Don't think it ever gets a name. Oh, maybe that's just a fox of some sort. Tango. There we go. I'm just making up the photo challenge. But... Yeah, Tango. Good name. Right. So no final boss of this place as of yet. And right, let's speak to King Trode and the gang. He's happy. All that food.
Well, it's all right for some, isn't it? No doubt King Peregrin treated you to plenty of fine food and drink. You lucky toads. The princess and I have been waiting, you know, stuck here outside town. And Medea isn't much for conversation these days,
Don't say that. Love how they put that rock there.
I know how you feel, Grandad. If only you weren't so, green, eh? Maybe we could get you into town, and you could have a drink or something. I ain't exactly a looker myself. I know what it's like to be discriminated against.
I love that. I like to think in my head, I mean, I've said it before, Youngest was voiced by Ricky Grover, who I don't think could read or write until he was quite old. I like to think this was Ricky Grover trying to say the word, but not being able to. But I don't know.
Wait, Gov, I've got an idea. The town I used to live in ain't too far south of here. How about we head off down there, eh? Sure, Pickham ain't no rose garden, but it's in the middle of nowhere, right? Even a strange old geezer like him would fit in, no problem.
Bad idea.
Old Grandad here'd be able to get a drink. And we might get a clue about where that Dhoulmagus has got to and all. There's a bloke there who knows everything about everything. We call him Brains. He's a mate of mine. He'll know something, dead cert.
Okay.
See? Two birds with one stone, eh? I ain't just a pretty face. Come on, let's get going south. Pickham, here we come.
Let's go. Youngest the Wise. And I think that will pretty much do for this episode. So in the next one, we will head off to Pickham. And I will see you then. Peace.